Just War in Islam, Section 7. Welcome back, everyone. So far, we've studied how just war theory developed in Christianity through Augustine and later thinkers. Today we turn to Islam, which approaches war and peace through its own rich traditions of law, theology, and spirituality. It's important to note from the outset that there is no single unified Islamic just war theory in the same sense as in Christianity. Instead, Islamic thought uses the concept of jihad, literally struggle, to frame the moral and spiritual dimensions of conflict. Understanding jihad. The term jihad has often been misunderstood in Western discourse. While it is sometimes translated as holy war, its meaning is far broader. Greater jihad refers to the internal spiritual struggle against sin, selfishness, and temptation. It is primarily about self-discipline and moral growth. Lesser jihad refers to the external struggle, which can include armed conflict when defending the Muslim community against aggression or injustice. War in Islam is not defined by the word harb, the general Arabic word for war, but by this idea of jihad as a struggle for justice and faith. Classical Islamic jurists, early thinkers. Early scholars like Abu Yusuf and al-Shaybani of the Hanafi school developed some of the earliest rules of warfare. They emphasized conditions for legitimate war, treatment of prisoners, and the protection of certain groups. Ibn Rushd, Avaris, outlined when war was permissible, in defense of Islam, against aggression, or when rulers broke treaties, set clear limits on conduct, prohibiting killing women, children, the elderly, and religious figures not engaged in combat, allowed truces and peace treaties, demonstrating that war was not the preferred or default state. Shia perspectives. Shia Islam often restricted legitimate war to the authority of the Imam, divinely appointed leader. In his absence, war-making authority was contested, leading to stricter limitations on armed struggle compared to some Sunni traditions. Ibn Taymiyya, a medieval scholar who argued that jihad could be directed not only against external enemies, but also against internal corruption, including rulers or rival sects. His writings influenced later militant movements, though they represent only one stream within Islamic thought. Sufi perspectives. Mystical traditions in Islam emphasized the greater jihad, the inward struggle. For Sufi teachers, the true battlefield was the human heart. Victory was not won by defeating armies, but by conquering pride, anger, and ego. This spiritualized view of jihad highlights that the Islamic tradition holds attention. War may sometimes be necessary, but the highest form of struggle is always inner transformation. Qur'anic foundations. The Quran itself contains passages that speak both to restraint and to struggle. War is permitted in self-defense. Fight in the way of God those who fight you, but do not transgress. Quran 2.190. Peace is always preferred when possible. If they incline to peace, then incline to it also. Quran 8.61. War is framed as a test of faith, not an end in itself. The balance here is clear. Fighting may be allowed under certain conditions, but mercy, restraint, and the pursuit of peace remain central. Modern thinkers. In the 20th century, new interpretations of jihad emerged. Abu Maududi and Sayyid Qutb argued for militant jihad against colonialism and corrupt governments, framing it as a revolutionary duty. Hassan al-Banna, founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, also emphasized jihad as part of political reform. In contrast, reformers like Mahmud Shaltut, Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, taught that jihad was primarily defensive and must always respect humanitarian limits. These debates continue today, showing how Islamic perspectives on war and peace are not monolithic but dynamic and contested. Key themes of Islamic just war authority. War must be declared by legitimate rulers, or, in some Shia traditions, only by the Imam. Cause. War is only justified in defense against aggression or to uphold justice, not for conquest or revenge. Conduct. Clear restrictions protect civilians, prohibit torture, and allow truces. Goal. The ultimate aim is peace, justice, and protection of the Muslim community. Closing reflections. So, in Section 7, we see that Islamic thought on war centers not on holy war, but on jihad as a struggle, both inward and outward. Classical jurists, Sufi mystics, and modern reformers all offer different emphases, but they share a concern for justice, restraint, and moral purpose. This diversity reminds us that, as in Christianity and Judaism, religious traditions are not one-dimensional. They wrestle with the same human dilemmas: how to protect the innocent, how to resist oppression, and how to seek peace in a violent world. In our next lecture, we will turn to Judaism, exploring how Jewish thinkers and texts from the Hebrew Bible to modern Israel have grappled with the morality of war.